back to VCT Challengers Week 2, Day 2. My name is Upmine, joined here by Sully, and our game between Immortals and NRG started to get a little bit spicy near the end of map number 1, but Immortals still at least ended things through.
Yeah, it honestly got really close. It looked like at a certain point in time, NRG were about to bring it back all the way to OT. But again, you're in that position. Your backs are against the wall. It's match point. It was like 12-6. There it is, and it was really rough if you're NRG because, like I said earlier, one mistake is all it took, and that one mistake was Sam unfortunately swinging, I think, the wrong side when he pushed through that wall, or at least the sage wall on the retake.
Still, there was more than that, though, and we could start to kind of chronologically see how NRG was even able to head up to Immortals. It was rounds like these where you still had Immortals firmly in the driver's seats. They still took it back.
Right. The biggest thing for at least for NRG, and the reason why they were even able to bring it that close is those two players, Tex and Android. You saw them in this retake. They were the last two players standing, and they were the reason that NRG had any hope, I feel like, in this series. They started to come alive. The first half, I'm not even going to lie to you, man, it was rough for the two of them, but when they got to that defensive side, they started to click, and that's the deadly duo that we were talking about in the pregame. If they can bring that confidence, if they can bring that fragging power, dude, there's a really good shot we could see a 3-map series.
I do like this, though. The initial picks, the entry frags, was something that I highlighted at the very beginning of the game, or before the game. And Immortals ended up winning the still most of them. Some of them were more inconsequential than others, but still, it's the battles for these two very disciplined teams that don't exactly fight early on in the rounds. Most of the rounds that we saw, the action would come in like 30 seconds later, something like that. That just makes the effect of the frag wins way better.
Right, and the interesting thing is that while we say that maybe they weren't going head to head, you look at players like Android and Shot Up, you look at them to create space. Ultimately, it came down to JC Stani finding those openings on the attacking side, and these are two teams that I think are infamously known for being super aggressive, right? Immortals just have this insane fragging potential. They showed that, but it was a very conservative game. It was super well thought out from Immortals. When they wanted to get aggressive, they were very good with combining utility to winning those fights. Same thing with NRG. That's what we were expecting from both sides. They've been looking really good with the utility, really good combo plays coming out with that utility, and they're able to find openings. But again, it is super well thought out and conservative from both of these sides.
And it was just high fragging in general from Immortals. He had 3 players that ended up getting over or at least 20 kills.
Yeah.
That's insane. That's insane. They have the pillars. They have the foundation. Immortals looking good, and they look to kind of just end things against NRG here in a set.
Oh, this is such a scary prospect if you're NRG going into the second map of Ascent. This is, again, one of your weaker maps, a map that you don't necessarily play all that often. Currently in the last 3 months, a 6-2 record. Now, that's a good record, but in comparison, man, Immortals 16-5. That's a little insane if you ask me. So this is a tricky map if you're NRG, and this is the other map where Rossi is running that Viper.
Indeed, Rossi sitting up on the Viper, and it's a little bit more, it's a change. It's something that Immortals has had to get really used to, at least on Ascent, because before, they would play up something fairly basic. They would play up 2 duelists, they would play up a Sentinel, the smoke character just being Omen, and then a Sova, but the kind of the makeover now for Immortals certainly did come into play in that last map. How would it come into play here in Ascent?
Right, this is a very small makeover. Obviously switching Rossi onto Viper. JC Stani's now going to be falling off the Jet Operator, so they're going to be running double controller, and we've kind of seen just how dominant a double controller can be. T1 in their game against Sentinels really displayed how that slow style can work out very favorably, and Immortals, now you've got Viper. You've got arguably the 2 most overpowered characters. Granted, obviously Viper, I hope, is going to see a nerf sometime soon, but you've got Astra and Viper. I mean, pros are complaining about how overpowered this combo is, and Immortals, we saw what Rossi could do with only the Viper. What can JC Stani do as well with the Astra?
You mentioned the Astra. It's going to be Star Wars again. Astra v Astra. And at least now for NRG, they're playing up with something fairly similar. But again, JC Stani backing off of the Jets. This does give the NRG a little bit more attacking power, but they start off on the defensive side.
Yeah, NRG with that Phoenix, I think, as well, is going to be super critical. But I think the same thing can be said for the side of Immortals, right? You've kind of got parallels. You've got the opportunity for easy ult orb controls on Daps to get the KJ ultimate when they're on the attacking side. Same thing with Android to get that run it back. But Again, Immortals, that combination of Astra and Viper, we've seen really intricate setups where they use grab walls to get control, use Viper walls to maintain site control. So Immortals having everything in their back pocket, it's up to NRG to see what they can pull out of their sleeve to maybe try and crack through it when they switch sides. But here on the attack, I think it might be a little bit more confident for the side of NRG, as this isn't necessarily an attacking composition for Immortals.
In we go. Ascent between Immortals and NRG. Immortals going for this one out.
Oh my.
We end up moving on into
Oh
playoffs,
my.
and it's such an early battle. It's the B main area just becoming this war ground where Tex goes down. A whole lot of damage being done. This is great for Immortals. Just put up that first face. And look at the other side of the map. Dabs still going for a peek onto Rossi, and Rossi doesn't expect it. At least puts things back, even in terms of man advantage. With the routing, it's Cat. Dabs has to get a couple of shots. And look at the gravity well. Well done on the run from Shot Up.
They know
not from Shot Up, sorry, JC Stanny.
They know exactly where he is here. Dabs, oh my goodness!
Whoa!
Dabs with a double! Dabs with 4! He's gonna find the ace here, surely. One more to go. The nanostorms are everything, and NRG have kicked it off with a bang.
Dabs, you absolute legend! Hold it down, son. I was about to say that util sitting in the back of A main. I mean, that was more the contingency plan if they had actually made their way through. But Dabs doesn't care. Uses up the nanoswarm, covers his own behind, and they all fall into the trap. Amazing!
Oh my gosh, dude, Dabs. That's a great. I don't even think that was meant to be recovery, right? He lost control of A, but it just worked out, dude. Dabs, you're crazy, man. Just to open it up, NRG have already found an ace in Dabs. Biggest thing is, he's now only 2 ult charges away. They're already spamming it down, and Dabs has found another. He won't get it online in this round to use, but 2 kills back and 1 through the wall. NRG. You can't let it fall apart like this.
No, surely not. Especially JC Stanny. That's the most important kill out of that entire interaction. Player going for the spam through the wall, and JC Stanny just catches up a quick one. This has to be a plan, but they actually leave the person back in B main. They have no clue where he is. Tex, Android, Som, all just sweeping up. And all right, the energy returns for NRG. Those Immortals again, dude. Okay, I did like that initial battle, to say the least, but that's kind of just the consolation. Not a lot of economic damage was done. Still a couple of frags back and forth is going to force up a reinvestment, or we're going to see the bonus back for NRG almost regardless.
Yeah, really nicely done, I guess, to those last 2 players. You thankfully get going a lot sooner. Tex, Android, and Som, they were very fast in that rotation. If you're Immortals, maybe you expected a little more time to set up. So the speed and the quickness that NRG were able to get to that site definitely helped in their favor to catch Immortals off guard, get the retake going. So Immortals got the rifles once more. 2-0 start for NRG, a lot more confident, but this is again that turning point where once Immortals get the rifles, they start to feel a little more confident. This is their map pick, one of their best in their map pool. So with these guns, what can they make of it? A slower start here for Immortals. Like we saw in Icebox, they're not going to be overly aggressive. They're not going to be over eager to find opening kills. Oh.
Oof. They're going for a shot up. Setting up in the middle of the default, but even then NRG actually wants to approach towards the Cat side, and I do like the reaction from the util.
Yeah, he's going to pull those stars back because now they've got mid control. With that single kill, they don't need to use those stars. They don't need to commit anything. Instead, that use that for an exit. It looks like in the works, there is a B hit coming, maybe even a B split, but Android needs to be punished here quickly.
Ooh, Android. Massive flash, but wasn't able to get too much off of it. It was JC Stanley, one of the players that was flashed that ended up taking him down. But now Tex just getting caught up with the gravity well, has to get a trade off from Som, but Som in the middle of astral form. Not get anything done. Dabs, this is big. The alarm bell around the corner, gonna be able to get one, still spraying through onto Rossi. Rossi is so low in HP, and Som is there. Okay, not able to get too much off of it, but still, Dabs finishes up the frag onto Rossi.
Oh my goodness.
And advantage still in the hands of Immortals. Look at the time. JC Stanny taking down Dabs, and Dabs almost looking the wrong way. Som 3 HP only to try to fight this. 1 bullet to the body of Gangsta would do it, but he has to check the angle first. And good peek from Gangsta. Well timed. Immortals has one back.
I'm not gonna lie, I saw Daps had a nanostorm back towards this walkway area, and I thought if he can get to site, pop the nanostorm, how crazy of a hold that would have been, but he's not able to get there, unfortunately, in time. So Immortals, with the rifles, to pick up the first, but losing 3 players, we're now at a kind of a weird status between both teams where both sides definitely don't have the credits they were looking for. NRG, yes, the last round was their bonus, so they're going to be able to force up pretty confidently here. But Daps using up that lockdown really early. That could have been so critical maybe for a round like this, but Tex will at least get the operator. We're yet to see him play with the operator. Let's see what he's got cooking for us as a very early pressure towards B main. He'll find himself a lot of control.
Again, it's that same conservative play from Immortals. It's quite heavy over towards that mid side, and NRG is not touching that at all. This could just be, wow, that could just be an outlook for them to make their way into B, but wow, what a pick.
Oh, and shot up. He's gonna have to break the alarm bot. Now they know. Great control here from NRG. They know they have B main control. They've killed the player out towards A. This is a rough position to be in if you're Immortals. Now, shot up, we know him to be able to create such great opportunities, but with that gate being closed, how do you try to work around that? So Tex is going to land his shot as well. Immortals now in a 5v3 with 45 seconds left. The end goal seems to be B, and it's up to shot up to cut off rotations if they can win these two fights here on the B side.
Here comes the Stars. Setting up for the take, and and the recon doesn't get taken down in time. Said it's gonna be a wild battle. EU in the back alongside Tex. Tex has to go big. Tex with a couple of shots, only one, but can't get too much. EU still with a frag back mid-air. JC standing just B-hopping in. Gets the kill, so still I could be able to go down. NRG, they still have Daps. Two players back in the fast lane, and the hot hand's doing so much damage. Gangsta gets overwhelmed, and NRG shut it down.
What a perfect hold from both Daps and EU, or apologies, Tex and EU, to just sit in the back and literally delay.
Time.
That's all they needed to do, is stay alive, be a nuisance, and Tex being a threat with that operator. If he hits one shot, it's perfect, and he did. He connected a shot onto shot up, brought him down to I think like 20 HP, and that was enough for EU to finish him off. So NRG, they get a third round nice and easy, nice and simple, I guess, but it's two big plays, or mainly just one combined, of delaying the spike plan, delaying Immortals to get progress. 3-1 here. NRG looking sharp, and it's put Immortals on the back foot where they've got the lesser guns again.
Standing ahead.
It's just tough. Not a big battle. Just against the bonus of NRG once they reinvest. It's all in their hands, and now Daps again going aggressive in B main. Almost uncharacteristic thus far, but it's working on their favor. Android. And at least one. That curveball well timed. So JC standing around the corner. Hot hands just trying to cover up. Android in a firing range as three players walk into his crosshair. All he has to do is hold down mouse one. Yet another one for NRG.
Oh man, Android. That is clean, my guy. Now he's got the run it back as well. It's a nice display of skill, but the bigger implication is he's got the run it back online now, and NRG with a 4-1 lead are looking really strong here on the defense. Can they maintain it though? As once more Immortals, rifles will be pulled out, but even when faced with that adversary of rifle v rifle, NRG, they've been able to come out on top in soaring fashion.
And stellar start here in Ascent, and a massive part of that has just been and those entry frags making a big effect, at least on the rest of the round. But looking at the setup now for NRG, not exactly wanting to fight whatsoever. In fact, this time Daps has shifted over towards the A site.
Yeah, Daps is kind of playing solo control. I think his goal here is to maintain cat control, or at least guard an area, so his teammates can make a quick rotation. Don't know if the gate's been blasted open, but he is sitting under heaven, really just to try and delay again. Seems to be the goal here of NRG for these retakes. Two players hovering around mid, so rotations can be very quick. And Immortals, they've cut so much noise. 50 seconds left. Owl drone to lead them forward. There is no real like crazy entry they can do, right? They want to maybe get that gate down. Cosmic Divide looking to be ready to be placed here by JC Stani. Splitting the site here. It's Daps underneath heaven. He's got to go massive.
Daps holding it down, gets one. Not a bit of util, but still expended. That's the effect of the lockdown. It's going to delay a whole lot of time, and the running back for Android finally going to be able to come into play. And the gravity well just, oh my god, just delaying so much more time. And the Hunter's Theory, well placed, trying to find Android, can't find him. In the meanwhile, it's chaos. JC Staney traded out by Text immediately back towards Courtyard. All 3 players for NRG. Has to stack up in heaven. Oh my, Text right through the ground. Takes that shot up. Headshot. Yet another one from Text. Now he dashes in, and EU uses Tex's dash as a little bit of a bait. Takes down Chemicals. Text, you've got to be joking me.
What an insane shot from Tex just to kick it off, man. NRG flying colors on that retake. Immortals, that had to be theirs, man. JC Stani had the most perfectly timed grab build to shut down Android's run it back, but somehow, some way, NRG with a cosmic divide in their face, with a grab wheel at their feet, pull it back to make it 5-1. Immortals had a dominant first half on Icebox. Well, NRG, dude, it's their time right now.
Man, it really is. It really is. Here on Ascent.
Here.
Talking about at least statistics for NRG, if there are any. Listen to this. Their defensive win rate is the best we see in any map, in any side between Immortals or NRG. They have a 70% win rate on the defensive side of Ascent. This side is theirs.
Oh, don't undersell it, man. It's 71% Immortals. What a hard defense to crack. Well, there it is again. NRG locking it down. This is nothing to them right now. In Eco round, they're gonna take that in stride. Shot is able to pick up a rifle, but what can the man do? 125. Well, he is the Reyna. Might be able to get an overheal, but it looks like a little bit impossible. Empress ready and a 1v3.
All right, shot him. Well, he's on a 46. He could certainly overheal.
Oh my.
Needs an opportunity to do so, and he's walking right next to a nano swarm. It pops right immediately. All right, the party popper. A little bit of confetti. Looks like the celebration might have came in a little bit too early. Shot up. Ooh. It's on the eye. I'm actually trying to think a little bit. Was that supposed to be just a fake out for audio cue? Oh yeah, fake up for audio cue because he could assume that he's back in A main. Smart.
Hey man, shot up even in a clutch. He's big brain, my guy. But
He cut sound.
even then, Immortals, it's unfortunately shot up as good as he is. It's not going to be enough to clutch that one out. That was again just an eco for Immortals, so pretty light stuff for NRG considering what we've seen so far. But again, the heat turns up. But NRG, they've been taking it in stride once more. Another aggressive peek here towards B main. Hot hands out. Tear it out, but a lockdown early. Man, NRG, they're going for such early control, and they forced everyone out of this position way back into attacking spawn.
Dude, these guys are done trying to fight for B main. Immediately, and they're trying to take out control with the Nebula. This is so smart. This entire side of the map is just shut down by NRG.
They've got nothing Immortals. How much effort it would be to retake this is that too much, right? You've got to throw so much utility, and NRG, they're just going to leave. They're going to leave one here. Android's going to be the sole player in B main. Right. They have that illusion, but I like this from Immortals. JC Stani is going to late retake this area, and the fact that Immortals they haven't even committed. They can split up through mid. They have a Viper's Wall to make that cross, and now that Gangs has cleared that area, they've got the option to cancel whenever they want, and it looks like they are.
After, again, map control 101 being taught by NRG. Immortals, they kind of want it back, but it's still slowly but surely. It's over towards that mid side. They're going to catch that alarm bot once again, and that's immediately going to tick up that rotation. Look how instinctual it is. All 5 players making their way through. There's one person in the mid side. Slowly, one person in the middle of the side. Android needs a kill here, but he can't get it. Daps actually walking through the nebula, and it walks into 2 crosshairs. NRG is losing this out, and they're losing it out quick. The Hunter's Fury gonna delay more time. They only have 10 seconds, Sully. It's still taking. JC standing, not gonna get taken down, but instead Som coming up big. Nice angle, but only able to get 1 frag out of it. There goes the wallbang with a little bit more damage. Both players now saw him lining up the Astral Form, shot up. All right, the dismiss, and it's a kill from Gangsta right through the wall. Gangsta got that from the middle of sight. Well done. Immortals with a 2nd round.
There it is, that late execution. It all led up to the fact that NRG, they kind of let off the gas when it came to B main control. Yes, they got it, but there was so much time left in that round that Immortals had so much time to just reroute themselves back after JC Stani took that control. And NRG, in this position at least, They do still have a pretty crazy lead, right? They are still feeling really confident. That round's looking a little bit better. Immortals, they're making great mid-round decisions. Can they keep that up? Again, rifles for both sides. Tex is going to get this early control. They realize now that the effectiveness of that lockdown wasn't enough. They need a permanent stay, and Tex is their man to do it.
Potentially so, but Android, and he's still looking for supremacy stats-wise. He got the better of his teammates just in that last map, and now he does it again. A quick trade back and forth. This is as hard of a default as you can get. They're still waiting up on Spike all the way back in their own spawn, and they win out Orb.
Gotta love this from Immortals again. That mid-round calling from whoever the IGL is. I imagine it's gotta be the boy Stani. You decide to go back, you get that control, but look at this. Daps is pushed forward, and you can see the rotations on the mini-map. Sam, who is, albeit at 1 HP, Bogsden Law, he's gonna pick up the operator. They're shifting back. What a brilliant call from NRG. Daps has got everything going for them.
It's going to be the lockdown that NRG needs to pick up a couple of rounds before the half. There's the high eye and the lockdown. Oh no, so many players need to cross up. The Nebula still not up yet, and what is going on now? Hunter's very end. Sam and Daps collecting up packs. The lockdown is destroyed. What is going on? Chemicals. Oh no, the last person remaining. He gets two, and now it's a 1v1. What is going on? Chemicals trying to finish up a 1v3. We apologize, folks, for the technical difficulties. But man, I guess it does end in an NRG dub. It was a 3v1 at the end.
That got a little bit too hectic, I think, for both sides. Immortals. Right. Wow, man. Okay, nearly pulls it all the way back, Chemicals, but 7-2 NRG. They persevere. It's all because of Daps, man. Daps getting all of that forward ground over towards A main, calls the rotation back. Sam picks up the bugs, and Law takes the operator. A superb round from NRG just off of that initial read, but again, got really, really close. Again, Immortals, the heat is turned down, but I can feel it, right? The knob is starting to crank here, and they can get a little bit more. This could be an opportune half, but another hefty hit off the shotgun, and Tex, that is a shot you cannot be missing.
Okay, nice fake from Tex. That's gonna throw off the position of Android. And oh, shot him!
Oh my!
Right there, and Sam takes out a headshot through. And okay, wow. I can't tell if that was shot up that got the damage into Cap, but if he did, dude, that is a massive spray transfer.
No.
Android off the frag and mid still takes down JC Stanny with the spike down and the Viper's bits. Okay. Immortals off the thrifty round, off the eco, could potentially do it. The run it back. For Android, he is getting pulled back. Just wants to run in. Although there's a snake bite on the front line, he's pre-firing through. We can't find anything. Okay, there you go. Case that takes down Sam. Still Android from up top. Third kill from Android.
Oh my goodness!
Android going big. He just has to keep holding W. Rossi gets the kill. So Daps are on the corner. Spike is still ticking. Rossi is out and away from the cloud. And now he can play time. Daps is trying to find him. And it's not gonna happen. Immortals, they win the eco.
One Viper's pit, man. That was so close for Android. The run it back, he didn't get the info. He couldn't clear out that one close corner and spot out Rossi. The man they could never find as Rossi sits in wait in plain sight. NRG. Wow, what a close round made by Android, but Immortals, they got the third. A little bit of luck, but maybe that's all you need to win a round like that. They find themselves a third. But look at this setup. They're looking heavy towards the A side, and there's a 4-man stack here already. Tex is going to shift around just a little bit. He'll be using the Blade Storm. It's a much weaker buy for the side of NRG as Immortals. They've got the better guns. That doesn't mean they've got the round in their bag.
Okay, the gravity well. Actually, I wanted to pull them behind Orb. Interesting. Ooh, the player up top. It peeked out on time. Could have been able to take down this one of the players through, but the eye doesn't go through the wall, so they have to launch out a second. That's one last flash anyways. They still haven't gone their way through. Immortals are just stuck back. NRG still with a couple of pistols, still have to hold it down. Sam!
Oh, Sam!
And he's the guardian of the A side! Sam picking up 3! Can still pick up more though. Nebula in the front line to help out his cross. And Tax picks up a big one to JC, and what just happened? Android got a kill into Chemicals too! It all happens in a millisecond. NRG, they pull it back with their own eco round.
Okay, Sam, the golden boy. You gotta be kidding me. That's a huge spray transfer. Listen, man. So if you haven't seen the clip, Sabrosa had one almost exactly like that. Look at this. Beautiful spray transfer. So clean from Sam. Yeah, it wasn't a 4-man straight up, but man, it's just as crucial. NRG 8-3. This is a dominant performance. It's the exact same thing as Icebox, but flip-flopped on its head. The map pick of NRG went 8-3 for Immortals. And now here, the map pick of Immortals, it's 8-3 NRG here in the last round of the half. Can they find a fourth here? They've got the weaker guns, and Sam is here and wait. They've got ultimates. They have a Cosmic Divide to work with. But here comes Immortals. The spike should go down in the post lane. It will be a 5v5.
Indeed will be. And Gangsta, he's going to get the plant just so he could charge up that Hunter's Theory. This gives Immortals all the leverage. They're going to completely abandon sites. They're watching out for that flank now, and the flank, could it be effective? Tex around the corner, strikes down into Chemicals immediately. There's still 2 players back in main. Actually, no, all of them. Tex is just chipping them down one by one, and they're slowly clearing out the A side at the same time. Shut up with a wide swing, can't get the kill. Tex is farming. And now they want to make their way through on site. Now they just want to fight JC Stanny. How do you get 2 there? But in the end, it just doesn't matter. Daps with a farm of 2. In NRG, man, 9-3. It's a better scoreline than what we saw in map 1.
Listen, we were talking behind in the green room like, man, Immortals came swinging in map number 1. NRG brought it back, and dude, I think I said in the first, I think I said it before we ended this map, is that if NRG bring that energy they had at the closure of Icebox, dude, we are looking at a 3-map series, and that's literally what we're staring at. Granted, Immortals, that was obviously their weaker side, and that was the best side for NRG. 71% win rate on the defense. We said it earlier, we'll say it again. It isn't over. The Viper for Rossi was so clutch on the defensive side of Icebox, it could do the exact same thing here again.
Who knows, man? Who knows? I just want to watch this through. As a fan, I feel like I could just sit back on the couch, crack open a Red Bull or something like that, and just watch the game. This is starting to get real fun. And again, we mentioned the map pool was almost very consistent with both teams. Honestly, it was all the strengths.
This was a map pool that was looking super close, and we said that NRG with their best map, one of their former best maps, Haven, on the line in the 3rd map. It's a tricky position to be if you're Immortals. You were looking to 2-0 this, and unfortunately, I don't want to jinx it. I don't want to call anything too early, but it is looking like maybe it could be tied up 1-1, and you've got to play on that 3rd map where NRG are just so infamous for being good on. Haven up next. Immortals, you need a big play here.
It all starts on the pistol, but the snakebite is going to delay a little bit more time right off of the L drone. But a lot of these players are just ready to go. Tex just dry out, just goes in for the dash, gets gravity well back, so he can't take control of Cat, but he still gets the kill. Same thing with Psalm, long range with a frenzy, and NRG has full real estate of the A site.
The spike is going to go down. NRG, it's looking like a 10th. Okay, no, the shotgun actually removes the spike planter. Sam is going to go down here. Smokes are gone. There is still a chance, but they got to get going. 1 under heaven, 1 lurking towards Catwalk. It's a beautiful setup here by NRG.
They plant safe in Jenny. The rest of the defenders, they all know that they're coming heavy. Oh! Okay, Chemicals and Shot Up collecting a plethora of frags, and now that's the last one remaining. Oh, B-hopping, and they get the frags. Wait a minute. It all happens in a flash. But Immortals, they actually do it. A 3-man drop from heaven. They had all the information in the world because of the flank from Daps, but even then, just not able to pull it off.
That's actually such a crazy drop, because Shot Up, if you're in the perspective of the attackers under heaven, he dropped on the far right side and a double drop from Daps and EU on the left. Think about, as 2 players under heaven, what you're going to prioritize. You're going to prioritize Daps and EU, and then you've just got this pest Shot Up shooting you from the right side. What an insane retake from Immortals. And Daps, who had to come from a flank, had to shoot the alarm bot, and then even furthermore, probably face the turret afterwards. It was an unwinnable position to be put in that 1v2. And Immortals, that had to have been NRG's, but no, they pick up the pistol. They still got some life left in them.
Real quick, JC Stanny in the up angle, catches 2. There you go. The effect of the Spectres, at least in round 2. That one's just cut and dry. Daps and EU. Last 2 players remaining, and they're completely isolated alongside the spike. And they still have eyes on the B side. They still have a turret up. They still have a player there. And there you go. JC standing takes down AU. Wide swing from Chemicals, and that's a flawless round. Full bonus for Immortals next round.
Yeah, super, super clean for Immortals. You keep all 5 players. You don't have to make any major reinvestments, and Chemicals is starting to stack onto that lockdown. He's going to get that very early on. Same thing with JC Stoney's Cosmic Divide. Looking like a good start here for at least Immortals. On the flip side, NRG, Android's nearing that run it back, and they've got the rifles here. So you can maybe get that online here. All it's going to take is both those ult orbs are 1 ult orb and a kill, and you've got an entry here. You want to shut down Immortals. You cannot give them this bonus. We saw what NRG were able to do on Icebox once they got their bonus. If the same thing happens here, Immortals could start to pull away again in such a major part of this game.
4. You can do it again. No way.
Oh.
Daps with the pre-fire. Not even the pre-fire, just the spam. Right through the orb, and that's the B. Main control completely broken down. Chemicals, last person remaining right here on site. In goes the dash. Nobody hears for the trade because of the nano. And no way. No way. Chemicals.
What?
EU looks away. Doesn't even go for the trade. Shut up, takes down Saw mid-air. What just happened?
I am flabbergasted. Chemicals. Dude, I only voice cracked for crazy plays. That is something else. What was EU looking at? Chemicals blindsides EU, and now it's a 3v1. Daps with 45 seconds left. It's not out of the realm of possibility, but if it were, it would have happened soon. Immortals. My goodness, after a crazy entry like that, Immortals recover literally instantaneously.
Dude, EU just a deer in headlights. Holy. All right, Chemicals. Really padding some stats. Speaking of stats, Daps currently on 18. Top fragger for Immortals. Round 14, but it's the rounds that matters, and it's Chemicals, man. Wow. I mean, picking up those 2, super, super important, because right in the middle of the dash, the Nano Storm is still up, so the opportunity for the trade is just not there. He takes down the Jet, and he continues his fragging, and I don't know what to tell you. Just well done. NRG, now down to pistols. It's a little bit too much of an investment. It's just a half buy, though. Nothing too crazy.
Hey, yo,
125 already left.
They forgot the spike. Coming against the goal, but I think one of the agents normally say, we forgot the spike.
We forgot the spike.
Yeah, NRG. You don't have the spike, but I think in this round, it shouldn't matter too much. However, they do have an opening kill, so I actually wouldn't even call it done and dusted. Shot up is just lurking around, and he's got to get a free kill. They won't find the spike. I think at this one, NRG, they can't win the round. I'd like to think at least.
I would like to think so. Full control of A, and they can't even get spy. Yeah. Good eye. Good eye. 50 seconds. Tech still gets a kill. No way. They're just depending on frags. No way. They're depending on frags.
And they've got the spike back.
The spike's not even down yet. 40 seconds. They can surely get the spike back in now, but now they have rifles, Sully. They have 2 rifles back in the hands of EU and Tex. And Tex still has the Blade Storm as he looks out into window.
30
not
seconds left.
peeking just yet. The take hasn't even gone fully down yet. They're still waiting. Shot up. Running up for the opportunity. Nano Swarm in the back line. Waiting out for a little bit of a pivot. Finally, the spike goes down, and Jenny. A little bit too long-winded. Still man advantage.
They've got the lockdown. Yeah, both sides have lockdowns, though, and they have control of Garden. So you throw this down maybe the last couple of seconds. You evacuate the area. You can use this lockdown, but Shot Up. He's really testing the time, and thankfully he won't get locked down. So here comes the reverse. If they want to use it here, it'll force players into A main, and they're looking for head-on fights.
Are they actually getting to use the lockdown? No, not at all. They want to go at this dry. Zom up close with a frenzy. Gets a whole lot of damage. Shot up now with the overheal. Just around the corner. EU playing Ring Around the Rosie.
He doesn't know.
And he doesn't know. The Spectre wins it out. You see the word on your screen. It's thrifty. Eco round back for NRG to energize them back into this game.
That's actually an absurd. I thought the spike dropped and everything. You forget the spike.
One of the weirdest rounds we've seen for sure.
Wow. You said they were relying only on kills. Well, they wanted to kills to kickstart the round. Then they go back. Dabs makes that long rotation. Dude, that is such a crazy round to pick up if you're NRG. What an odd one. But Immortals, they're going to suffer the consequences heavily here after that. Look at the economy. They're starting to run dry for credits. They're going to have one last spy before maybe they have got to hunker down, go for an eco, and look at the play here. 3 players fighting for B main control. There are 2 players here in waiting. Thankfully, one of them is going to be an Odin. So Gangsta looking for that early spam. 2 pings and 1 on low HP.
A nice spot from Gangsta. Even then, there's going to be a whole lot of work to do. Just a little bit of damage in the grand scheme of things. This B site, yeah, no, this B site is looking flimsy. Only going to be the Odin of Gangsta to try to hold it back. Oh, wow, okay, shot up right in the middle of market, able to take 1 down. Recon Bolt not able to take down too much, but that Cosmic Divide does hold up things, but it's a hard fake. They're walking right into the jaws of the beast. It's the Nano Swarms, it's the Alarm Bot, it's the Snake Bite. Like a viper in tall grass, they execute right at the right time. They aim for the ankles, and now they're done. Dabs EU and Android, they are lacking map control, so they have to fight for it back. And indeed they do. Dabs takes down Shot Up. Gangsta still hasn't unwrapped his present.
Not like this.
No, not like this. You have to unwrap it, man. You have to unwrap it. 35 seconds left. Android looking to unravel the site. Gangsta still on. Recon not catching him, and he gets it! At least 1, but can't hold back EU. 20 seconds left. 3v2, but the lockdown is about to go down on Chemicals, I would like to think.
Yeah, he can use it whenever he wants it. The thing is, that's the issue, is that it's so deep into the site that there's nowhere for them to hide. A tiny crevice in the back. A very tight... Wait, is it gonna hit? It doesn't break it? No. It does in the last second EU, but it doesn't really matter. Oh, the lineups were clean, but unfortunately, the overwhelming numbers, the overwhelming power, Immortals, they stave off at 11th here. Find themselves a 7th, and the economy, it's not disastrous just yet.
Oof, all right. All right. I was about to say it was looking like a little bit of a gift that round of sorts, but
yeah, I was curious. How was
like
his Odin was still wrapped up. I was like, I think he's got to pull that off.
Yeah, I think the gift wrap that they use is quite strong. I was actually a little bit surprised that bullets could go through it. So hate to say it. NRG, they would like that one back, to say the least. As now they do have a little bit of a juggernaut buy. 2 rifles in the hands of Daps and EU.
Wow.
And Rossi is just going to make it so much tougher on them.
Yeah, we saw what happened on Icebox when NRG decided to do the exact same thing on the exact same site A, but just in a different map. It forced Immortals to the completely other side, and well, at least there's a different access point. I think that's the biggest thing, is that there's a different access point, but Immortals, they've accounted for that. Alarm Bot, double nanostorms, snake bite availability here from Rossi as he wants to swing to the right and clear it, but no. Shock Dart's only going to break 1, unfortunately, so there's still the notification when they want to swing. However, NRG are not committed in any sense. They're going to slowly back out of there, but what's the plan here? Are they going to try and retake A main where Rossi is still sitting in his Viper's pit?
There's nobody else here either, so it's going to have to come down to Rossi trying to fight up this battle.
Okay.
Gravity wants us to try to pull Snake Bite right in the front line. Ooh,
Catches him.
Trying to get a ping. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. Rossi is out of it. He's just going to let it roll, and he just wants to get the kills through it instead.
Oh,
he's just
Rossi.
running through it. He gets 2. Now it finally goes down, but the damage has been done. Still 2 players back in main. Som somehow made his way through, but I think Rossi has an idea, an inclination that he's there. 15 seconds left. Rossi with a 3rd. Stack him up, Rossi. You have a couple more to aim on, a couple more pixels. The round is done anyways. These players aren't even going to go for it. They don't really care about the economy. They just care about their rifles. Okay, luckily, EU dies before time. Dap saves another round for Immortals.
Yeah, this is rough for NRG. Obviously, Dap staying alive, he's only going to get 1,000 credits, but the cost of the utility, at least for a KJ, is definitely going to take a little bit of a hit. Thankfully, he can get his full shields up, but you can't imagine that this is a pretty state for NRG. Immortals, it's such a dominant hold here on both sides, right? A great read. They have the nanostorms and everything let up for Garden. Rossi doesn't need any help. He goes huge here. You're in a position where NRG, you lose this round. This is your bye round. You give Immortals a chance at 9. Then all they need is 1 more to tie things up. It's a different scenario than what we saw in Icebox. Immortals had 12 rounds. One mistake in energy, we're done, and unfortunately Shot Up tries to beat out the drone, and he will get punished for it.
It was the economic effect too. NRG is just way too fragile. When NRG was fighting up against Immortals at the very end of the game, they already stacked up their economy. They already had the space to work with, but they don't have that luxury anymore.
No.
NRG, one mistake in any of these rounds just leads to a reset and an almost guaranteed 2 rounds just off of that one loss. It's so tough.
Gangsta's gonna try and retake this area, but the Blaze Wall catches the head of one. Okay, that's not the best situation to be put in, because you think there's only one there. Tex is, however, gonna lay in wait. There's a second recon bolt to try and clear it out, but NRG with 45 seconds left. What is the move? One player solo, setting up Stars to try and set a fake with the spike. It's leaned towards his B side. We're possibly going to see a B split here, but I mean, knowing how good Chemicals has been on this B site, it's still going to be a rough take.
30 seconds left.
Sure is, and look at the amount of util still on that B site. Gangsta has the ang. Not exactly launching out a recon yet, but there goes the Cosmic Divide.
Wow.
Android takes down Gangsta. Chemicals playing pivot. Playing up in the middle of the site, wants to get a cheesy frag out of it. A cheeky one, but Somni, you combining. EU. It's the most pivotal frag of the round, period. Player was just right there for that retake. And now it's just JC standing in a 1v4. If he could take control, you're a courtyard, it could lead to a little bit of damage to the economy of NRG, but that is what they needed, Sully. Momentum back in their favor a little bit, but now their wallets start to grow.
Yeah, you were looking for that 9th round if you were Immortals. You bring yourself within 1. Now that gap is extended to 3.
Stay quiet.
And not only that, would you have been able to bring it to 1, you would have broken NRG's economy. They would have once more been on another eco round. This has been put in a situation where now Immortals, you're the ones that have to battle up against the economy. It's an uphill battle. You can see negotiations have had to been made. Chemicals with light shields. He's opted to pick up the Judge. Less utility for Rossi. Apologies, no, he's already used his utility. But later down the line, you can't imagine Immortals are going to have everything they want. NRG, if they can get 12 here, they can easily close things down, as Immortals will have no lost bonus to try and recuperate.
Slow again for NRG. As long as they just take up more map control, they should just be fine. Good anticipation off the wall, and they communicate that back. One person's just trying to fight up that mid side, seeing if they can get a contact. They don't have that alarm bot anymore. They usually place. Chemicals was down on economy, at least in this round, so placing down Nanostorm, so placing down a little bit of util on the A side instead. Just waiting out for the contact, and NRG is not giving a singular hint of it. But Tex emerges from the mid side, takes down Shot Up, and now he wants to fight the middle of tree. He wants to fight up A. This is just dragging away so much pressure, so much attention. Now NRG can essentially go anywhere. Where do they want to go?
Oh, they could go to this A site so easily, as there's already one push through. It's up to Chemicals. He's got to go huge. He's denied. And JC Stani is only good for 1. 2 versus 2. But look at the damage. Look at Gangsta. He's found another at JC Stani for the final. Immortals have a 9th, and they're not done just yet, keeping NRG off of 12.
Gangsta, you gotta be joking me. Picking off a player mid-air of the Hunter's Fury. Another player was down on HP, snacks him down. Gangsta, cross map, makes all the factor in the round.
Oh my gosh.
Look at the angle of it too. It was
so
perfectly
far.
vertical.
He is so
perfectly
far.
vertical.
Dude, Gangsta sniping a double. That had to have saved them around. And Stani as well. He was only able to muster 1 in that engagement. He took down Android, but that was all they needed. That dropped the spike, so what that does is it pulls players back. It gives an opportunity for Gangsta to line up players. He gets the shots off. And NRG, look at the economy. 1 has been relegated to a sheriff. Yes, they've got a buy here, but you can't imagine it's going to be anything pretty. Immortals, surely not like this. Oh, what a spray down. So much damage. Not enough, though. Tex will stay alive. It's the B site that seems to be the coordinated hit.
Oh man, well, in comes a little bit of a take, at least over towards the B side. The Hunter's Fury on point, takes down Shot Up.
Oh, no,
Gangsta right in the middle of it. They're trying to clear out these
wait,
angles.
wait,
oh
wait,
my God,
wait.
he's still alive. Dabs takes him down. Oh man, that was it. Essentially, if he had stayed alive. off of that one. If Gangsta had stayed alive, that would have made all the difference. But now NRG, exhilarating, rejuvenating themselves back into this game, as now Chemicals also remaining in a 1v4, has to take it bit by bit. And NRG shut it down. 1 round away from taking it to a map 3.
Got a little bit scary for Gangsta. Where's Waldo? No, where's Gangsta? There he is, finally. NRG. The 12th round on. Thankfully, that round will stabilize their economy. EU would, and they keep so many players alive as well. So, it's a position where if Immortals were to win, NRG are no matter what gonna have a bye. So again, Immortals are on this uphill battle where they've got to consistently face up against a full buy from NRG. And it's not a position you want to be in. Immortals, 1 round to go for NRG. 3 rounds to bring us to OT. NRG couldn't do it on Icebox. Can they do it here? This is so different from NRG, though. So quiet and so silent. It's eerily quiet, I think, for Immortals.
I think that's the way to put it.
Or we're at attack pause.
Yeah, attack pause. Yeah, I was about to say,
I was like, oh, the barriers haven't gone down.
Eerily quiet. Yeah. And then you just start seeing everyone just be hopping.
Yeah, I was like, huh.
And you know.
Interesting.
Stretch your legs out, sit back, relax, wait up for the round to actually start. I think the clock is like actually at 0. I think they started the timeout at 0. So this is,
so we go straight into it.
Essentially. Attack pause. And wow, look. Oh my god.
Right back into it.
Right when they unpause. Dude, literally midway through the animation of the borders going up, they paused. That's okay. Wow. So off of the unpause, they just have to go into it immediately.
Want to keep the momentum going. Android, that run it back has been online. When is he going to pull it out here? This is the opportunity. They grab the orb. They've got the Cosmic Divide. They've got a Blade Storm. Chemicals, it's up to him here. They have a grab will in front to delay, or at least maybe a Nebula, possibly, or Nova Pulse, whatever they need. They drop the smoke, and that'll force NRG away, but it's even pulled a couple rotations. 3 players on this A side, but I think in actuality, it is going to have to be a B hit. It's up to JC Stani. He's the lone warrior. No support from Gangsta just yet, but he starts to pivot back, and NRG are starting to amp up the tempo.
Quickly stunted. The toxins slowly start to dwindle.
Stani. That wall needs to go up now. Ross needs to call it. They're going to burst straight into the site.
Yeah, they have no clue. There it goes. And it's going to come in a little bit too late. It is going to cover up the spike, though, but not enough players are going to be there to take on the damage. But actually, Gangsta taking down Tex. It is a good spray down, but the side is theirs.
Yeah, they've got everything going. Cosmic Divide out and everything here for the post plant.
And a player in market.
Yeah, all of this control. Dabs is already forward here. The whole hit has to come from the defender spawn as Dabs. That might be the closer. All 3 players congregated and NRG are ready.
The gate is closed behind Dabs too. It's a little bit unfortunate. Shot up. There's actually 2 players on top of the stairs. Dabs lines them up. That's the Empress of Darkness going down in the shadows. Is now EU, Android, and Som want to hold this one down for NRG. It's looking all too difficult. Time has already ticked away quite a bit. Chemicals with a nice shot. Som takes one back.
Low HP. Low HP.
EU, look at the EU.
No
look
bullets.
at the HP on EU. He has to go for it. There goes the fake. There goes the peek from EU. Just a right click would do it. Indeed, he gets it. And Chemicals is done. NRG by the skin of their teeth win out map 2. We got a map 3.
It had to come down to seconds for that spike defuse. Chemicals, man, he did everything he could in that post plant, but it wasn't going to be enough. NRG, I said it, man. They bring that heat. They bring that pressure from map number 1. We are seeing a map 3, and yes, here we are. We're going to Haven.
We are going to Haven. Man, I just can't. I just can't between these 2 teams. NRG, they had the bulk of the momentum throughout the game. Immortals, though, they had the line of sight. They had the red carpet. The economy was in their favor. The rounds were overwhelmingly in their favor. NRG, any little slip up that they pulled was just getting punished immediately, but they ended up winning. So I don't know what to tell you. It's just a dub. That's how you win Valorant. You take up rounds. They were only 2 rounds away. Is what it is. It's a little bit forehead, but here we are, folks. Map number 3 between NRG and Immortals for a spot into Challengers playoffs just next week, starting on Thursday. You guys don't want to miss either playoffs or map number 3. Map number 3 between Immortals and NRG here for winter semifinals of the VCT Challengers Week 2, starting up in just a little bit after this break.